Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. Wow. Spurs 1, West Ham 2. Afterthought player ratings. West Ham Online are going to come to you because me and Clive have just had to watch that like through gritted teeth. What did you make of that, son?
Moyes!
What you saying, Alf? Talk to me.
I'm saying we've reached our highest ever Premier League points tally after 15 games. Top of the Europa group, still in the Carabao Cup. What a start to the season. Fantastic win at Shite Hart Lane. Fantastic in that second half. You know what? Yeah, they can pass it around. And yes, we did have 8% possession after 10 minutes. We're taking home the win. We're taking home the 3 points. They can have the possession.
Yeah. Clive, obviously you watched it with me.
Yes.
What are you saying?
Well, those 15 minutes you gave me to have a breather, I spent 5 minutes having a wank, 10 minutes making myself a cup of tea. So, I mean, I've had a great 15 minutes. But no, in all seriousness, I've been watching actually the reaction from the players, the manager's still talking at the moment on the telly, but it's been interesting because JWP has spoken, Bowen has spoken. They've both spoken so highly of what happened at half time and the changes and everything that was going along. And I think the positivity in the group shows that, you know, we can have good belief, and those that have been calling for Moyes to go in the first 15 games of this season are severely just misdirected or misplacing their disappointment, because as a club we're doing really well, and to be only 3 points off the 5th place right now after 15 games is incredible.
For me, it's a West Ham are Jackal and Hyde, mate. If you want to know, if you want a team that's Jackal and Hyde or bipolar FC, this is the club for you. Trust me. If you want to be put through pain in the first half and pleasure in the second half, amazing, mate. Absolutely amazing. I have never celebrated a goal so much as James Ward-Prowse was.
That sounds a bit like 50 Shades of Grey or BDSM there.
Mate, I know, but listen, right? How funny was it though, Clive? Yeah? My TV cut out and I would have missed the goal. But Lucas, welcome. How do you feel about that, my friend?
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. I hate Tottenham scum, so this is a great day. Football did prevail in the end, which is nice. The light shined down on us when necessarily it didn't start off that way, but it was nice to see. I'm happy. I'm happy, of course, but we'll get into it later. But yeah, what a emotional roller coaster that was. Yeah, just like every other week, honestly.
But I'm going to ask both you and online, because obviously it's the first time I spoke to you since the game. First half, Lucas, I'll let you go first. What did you make of the first half? Because it was shit.
So my outlook was a bit different than some people's that I've seen on Twitter. So in my opinion, were the tactics great? No, they weren't great. But in my opinion, I thought the players had nothing about them. Nothing.
Bingo.
Absolutely nothing. They did
Bingo.
not. They did not graft. They had no bollocks about them. They were playing this like it was Southampton at home, like latter end of the season. We already know where we're going to be in the table or something. That was not acceptable. But again, Moyes has to take some blame. The tactics, they weren't good enough, but the philosophy, in my opinion, was still there. Like, people were complaining, but like at the end of the day, Spurs away, why would we press or be aggressive against a side that, like, that's what they're known for?
Well, a side that's had a severe high line, and they showed that even when they went down to 10 or 9 men against Chelsea.
So for me, I can't call the tactics fantastic because we were 1-0 down at halftime, really, and we were poor in transition. But the philosophy, in my opinion, was there. Just the players had no bollocks about them at all. So that was my first half thoughts.
West Ham Online, what about you, mate?
And Lucas Paqueta was an absolute disgrace first half.
Don't get me started on it. Don't get me started on him, mate. Trust me, because he's one of the luckiest geezers in fucking North London tonight. West Ham Online, what you saying?
I'm going to refer to a line I said to you on the show we filmed yesterday, James.
I know what you're going to say, but go on.
Everything was toxic. There was nothing good to say on social media. Everyone was in uproar. I said, things are never as good as they seem, but they're also never as bad as they seem. And tonight's an indication that although everything looks so bad if you're to read Twitter, just like is that we've already had enough moments this season that have excited me as a fan. Yeah, we don't play tippy-tap crap football. I've had enough moments this season to excite me as a fan. I've had enough moments in the last 6 months to last me a lifetime. So that's what I was looking for.
Do you know what? James actually asked me a question just before the game started. And the question you asked me was, what was more important, the result or the style of play? And I said to you it would be the result, especially after what happened at the Palace game, because we dropped points and the results that had gone around us. But this is exactly what I mean. People remember us winning the Conference League trophy 6 months ago to this exact date, and you remember that. You don't remember the shit performance. Yes, I was at the game. The performance was shit. There's no hiding about that. But who won the trophy?
Cook,
Us.
Clive, Cook.
And that is what matters. And then things like this, moments like beating Spurs away from home, that beats any sort of performance. I couldn't give a shit how we do it. We beat Spurs and we get to fucking gloat.
I'm going to be honest. Right, I'm going to say this, then we're going to go into the player ratings, lads, all right? But for me, that second half performance, I was so proud. Because I said it to Clive in the watch-along at half-time. I said, I need to see something from this team, yeah? If you care, like we all care as fans, right, give me something at half-time. Just give me something. Like, I want to believe that we've got a chance. And to come out in the second half and put in a performance that they did put in, and let's be honest, Spurs had one clear-cut chance in the second half from what I remember. That was Richarlison. Other than that, I don't remember nothing else they've done.
They cared second half, and like I was saying before, I really did not think the tactics or philosophy were that far off. I thought we played the exact same, but to me, they looked switched on second half. They looked like they cared. Moyes must have hammered something into them.
Yeah.
Which, again, we all know second halves are not our strong suit. But
apparently they all fall asleep at half-time, though, Lucas. They all fall asleep, the players.
Yeah, apparently the players don't play for the manager. They don't believe in the tactics either.
And I'm sure you've already talked about most Premier League points we've tallied or accumulated in our first 15 matches in club history.
I'm going to be honest, mate. I'm fucking proud of the team tonight, because if there's one team that you want to come back and do, it's them. And yeah, listen, I'm proud of the boys, but we'll get into it. Let's start off with this man, Lucas Fabianski. I'll start with you, Lucas. Lucas for Lucas. Take it away, mate.
First half, not fantastic. Not really his fault, but in my opinion, he is just like really slow. I don't know if Ariel even gets a chance to saving that either, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. I thought his distribution tonight was disgraceful, but
his accuracy in passes was 39%.
It was disgraceful. One of the worst I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. But
yeah,
he didn't make a ton of tough saves. He did have a good punch on a corner, but everything else was pretty much straight at him. I'll give him a strong 6 just because it's Spurs.
Yeah.
Tottenham.
By the way, we won the XG as well.
Oh, don't worry about the XG, Alf.
War a trophy for us.
Yeah, exactly that. Right, I agree with Charlie Walsh on this one, right? Because we're going to rattle through this, yeah, because I want to get to Moyes.
Really?
Low 7 for me. I agree with him 100%. I thought he was solid tonight, Fab.
Nah.
Yeah. Right, go on then, Clive. I'll let you go next.
Well, I'm replaying the whole game in my head. First minute, he made that mistake.
True.
He should have really been going in with his hands, not his legs. He looked like he was half pulling out from his own challenge. Yes, don't get me wrong, Tottenham were offside, so that doesn't really matter. Distribution, piss poor. The only thing I would say is some of that is on the defensive players. Like I said, Zuma or whoever's in the back line should be going out into the whip, so then he's not having to rush and distribute the ball straight into the Spurs mid. But equally, sometimes it was down to Fabianski not getting the players in the right position.
He was doing a Sue foul today.
Yeah, and then my other aspect was there was that punch that he did that he could have comfortably used both hands to save, and that frustrates me a little bit. But overall, not too bad. I was going to give him just a high 5 because I think he looked a little bit shaky tonight.
Fair enough. WestHamOnline.
I think we look better as a team when he's in goal. Maybe it's a coincidence. I think we are. I just think we are better.
You are a sarcastic bastard, but I do like you, mate. Go on,
No,
carry
he's
on.
being completely serious.
No, I'm being
Go on.
serious. We
Go
are. We just are better. I want him to start next game. I like him. I thought the first goal, yes, he crouched again. I don't know why he does that crouching stuff, but I don't think he would have saved it anyway, like Lucas said. I want him in goal, mate. I prefer him. I just do.
Right.
He's just so much better. When crosses come into the box, you want him there, not Areola. So I'm giving him a high 6.
High 6 for you. We'll move on to this man who I thought was getting roasted in the first half. Second half, it was a bit better. I'll let you go first this one, Clive, because obviously you've done the watch on with me. What are you saying?
Every time I fucking bite into food.
No worries then. Go on, carry on.
No, go on, I'll go. Yeah, first half, I don't know what was going on, but Sufal looked like he was lost. I don't know who he was trying to face, but he was on his own. He was on his own, racing with himself, and the ball was about 10 yards further away with the Spurs player.
Yeah.
So that was really frustrating. Saying that, his attacking abilities looked quite good. And, you know, he brought in a couple of crosses. That cross in the first half, for instance, you know, he made the right moves going forward. The issue was more going back. But that was the concern I had in this game, knowing the pace and the speed of the attacking players of Spurs. So I guess we can't really expect much more of Sufal. I think ultimately with his second half play, he played a lot better. He gets a low 6 from me.
I'll go next. Make mine short and sweet. I thought first half he was absolutely fucking dreadful. Not going to lie. He couldn't defend. He was out of position so many times. He was driving me absolutely berserk. Right. Second half, a lot better. I don't know why he was a lot better, but he was just a lot better second half. I'm going to give him a high 5, just not 6 for me. I thought first half he was dreadful and they could have scored. They should have been at least 3-0 up, Spurs. Do you know what I'm saying? So high 5. Lucas.
I'm probably going to give him just a 6. Again, really hard for me to like individually point out who was awful first half because realistically everyone was pretty bad or just really static. But second half improved, and that was mostly because, like I said, we seem to have flipped the switch the second half. Like again, it's just a tale of two halves for us. So I'm going to give him just a 6. I don't really have any comments on Sufal today. He was okay.
WestHamOnline.
Love him. I enjoyed his performance. I think he got in some really good positions, even in the first half down that right. Wasn't getting the ball right. I think his timing of his runs is exceptional. I've always thought that. First half, he wasn't great defensively, I will admit, but I thought overall he really battled well tonight, and I think he symbolised a good performance from West Ham United. His positioning is just fantastic for me, and I think technically he's probably not a Premier League footballer when it comes to technique, but he makes up for it because I think his intelligence, his IQ is just off the charts, and I'm just happy with him. So he's getting a 7.
7 for you. Wow. Move on to this man, Naya for Gued. Lucas.
I
thought he played okay tonight. I thought he was all right.
He didn't get much passing of the ball though, that's for sure.
We'll start with the goal first off. I'll be honest, I'm honestly just sick of watching him leap in the air. It may not completely be his fault, but when
Lucas, do you not think perhaps
that's Alvarez
is at fault?
No, I think they're both sort of at fault. Because I mean,
Alvarez is bang in front of him though, Lucas.
No, Alvarez is behind him.
Alvarez was initially behind, but then you see him look, and he puts one step forward and goes across, but he's left.
But Aguerd is right there as well. He should be tracking.
Yes, but I don't think that's Aguerd's player to be tracking. I actually think it was Alvarez. I think Alvarez has realised he's made the error because you can see it in his face.
I don't know, but I'm just sick of seeing him like in the air. But first half not great. Second half he had some important tackles, some important duels. Yeah, and like you said, he didn't pass the ball a lot tonight. He only attempted 12 passes, but I'm gonna give him. I'm I'm gonna also give him a strong 6.
Strong
Not
6
enough for
you.
a 7 for me.
I'm going to give him a high 6. I thought he was all right. I don't agree that it's his fault for the goal. When me and Clive watched it back on the replay, Alvarez is just standing like a statue. Like he should be bulldozing his way through to get that ball. And obviously, if the ball goes over Aguerd, Alvarez should be there. I thought he done his job well. I thought he done okay. So I'll give him a high 6. Clive, what you saying?
Yeah, for me, I think just on the basis of everything else he did tonight, I think Aguerd looked all right. But obviously, he had his moments. I do think, again, if we want to be playing this counter-attacking football, I think we need to also utilize playing from the back. And the fact that there's a lack of touches of Aguerd says a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Bless you.
But thank you. But yeah, for me, he gets I'm going to say a 6 from me.
Alfie, what you saying?
Great performance. I thought he
ahead.
showed up tonight. I really enjoyed his performance. I thought that they're the games he specialises in the fact that when the ball was going through and we were pushed up a little bit, he wins those races.
Agreed.
So I enjoyed his performance. I thought he was good. Thought his box defending was pretty decent today. 7.
7 out of 10. Fair enough. Kurt Zuma up next. Captain back today. Clive.
Yeah, I think we know my thoughts on this. So if you watch the watch along, I think he looked very out of place. He didn't look like he was really there, especially in the first half.
He don't look fit to me.
Yeah. Well, I to be honest, I'm not going to put down anything to fitness or anything. I genuinely believe he's probably still shaken from the weekend, to be fair. I don't know if it was the right move, perhaps starting him. I actually think perhaps he should have been benched, but with the squad today. But second half didn't look as bad. But yeah, I just don't think Zuma looked that great overall. And I think he had like the least touches out of all the outfield players tonight. It didn't look great. Didn't look like he could win much of the ball. I'm going to have to give him a low 5.
Low 5 for you. Don't blame you. Don't blame me at all. WestHamOnline.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed his performance. I enjoyed his box defending. I thought he showed up tonight. I feel like all the defence were good tonight. He's getting a 7.
7 for you. Now, you're kind. I'll give him a high 6. It's not a 7 for me. I'm not as kind as Alfie. I think certain times, if better finishing from Spurs, then it's a different game. I think he was okay today, but I just don't think he's fit. He just don't look fit to me. So high 6. Lucas.
Yeah, Kurt Zuma. He wasn't at his best today.
Yeah.
I don't like Clive. I don't really have questions about his fitness. He's just slow nowadays, and he did get beat a few times in behind, which again, we sign up for that when we see him in the side. But yeah, I don't know if the whole robbery that happened at his gaff is still playing in his mind. Maybe his head wasn't entirely in the match, which rightfully so, in my opinion. So but second half, and he played decent when it mattered. So I'm gonna give him a 6.
Thank you, Mark R, who said I rock. Much appreciated, Mark.
Mark R, indeed. Is that everyone? Done?
Yeah.
Nope. You okay? There you go. I thought you meant everyone in the defense.
Oh,
talk about my star boy. We got to talk about Emerson. Him.
I know. I'll start with Lucas then. Go ahead.
This guy is fantastic. I actually thought, again, first half, not great, but I thought in terms of if we were doing like a first half ratings, he was probably one of our best, even though that doesn't mean a lot. He wasn't terrible, but second half switches it on. He does it all. He is Emerson. He is him. And 9 ball recoveries, drove forward, won 8 out of his 12 ground duels. He's my guy. But I feel like people are gonna give him a really high rate tonight. But I'm gonna give him a 7. I thought he was just back to it tonight.
I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna give him a high 7 for me. I agree with everything you just said. I think first half, I think him and Kudus were the only two who cared.
Yeah, and real quick, sorry to cut you off. I think his first half could have been a lot better if a certain someone who was playing with him, his head was in the match, but it wasn't. So he could have played better if one of his partners held up his end of the deal.
True. Very true. So yeah, I'm going to give him a strong 7 for me. I thought he's unreal. £15 million or £30 million we paid Chelsea, and let's be honest, it's a bargain, absolute bargain. Clive, what are you saying for Emerson?
Seriously, he's been our most consistent player, in my opinion, this year.
Yeah, for me, he had a bit about him in the first half. Again, I think Lucas has hit also the nail on the head with certain someone else on the left wing that was not really helping the situation, and you know. Not only that, I mean, as we saw, the certain other player on the left side didn't even track back in the first half, which is another conversation, because then that leaves Emerson to liability of 2 players, which could have gone absolutely pear-shaped if executed correctly from the opposition, but it wasn't. For me, Emerson gets a strong 7.
Strong 7 for you. WestHamOnline. Alfred, are you there?
He hates Emerson so much he doesn't even want to.
I didn't realise my mic was muted.
I was about to say WestHamOnline is so excited.
We all know your disgusting agenda.
No, we all know you want Cresswell back in this team, but when you get to it, mate,
what a performance! I thought he was the best player on the pitch. He was my man in the match. I thought his driving runs were fantastic.
Yeah.
He was decent in possession. I thought he was good tonight. And he's my man in the match, and he gets an 8.
8 out of 10. We move on to this man. This is going to be a strong rating for me, because I thought he was shit in the first half. Absolute shit. The second half, he come out and be the man that I wanted him to be. I'm going to go with Lucas first, because obviously you guys have watched the game, so I'll let you rate him first. Go ahead.
I thought we all watched the game.
So
you didn't, Alf, you little bastard. But carry on.
I thought how do I explain, Alvarez? Don't get me wrong, at the beginning of the season, he looked very good, and he was shutting me up a bit from my previous takes and whatnot. But then, you see a player when he's, kind of at his average, you know what I mean? And his average just, I don't know. I thought he defended well in moments, but overall really didn't have that big of an impact on the match. He had 5 interceptions, 8 ball recoveries. It didn't really feel like that, but
I think in the second half it did.
I thought he was excellent in the second half.
Yeah, like
First
I
half,
said,
I thought he was shit.
I thought in moments he had crucial defensive actions, but painting the overall picture, again, he was fine. He was fine. So
shout out to Richard Stevens, mate. He was there tonight. Shout out to you, Rich. Hope you're well, mate.
Richard Stevens.
Yes, man. I would. You know what's funny? I actually saw someone selling a ticket on Twitter as well, and only
mate, I know.
What a story that would have been if I just copped the ticket, took the next flight within 2 hours. But I'm gonna give him just a 6 for his second half performance. But again, I thought he was just he was okay. Okay.
I'll go next. I'll give him a strong 6, just not a 7 for me. I thought first half he was shite, and I'm not going to lie, and I'll back him, but he was all over the place in the first half. I think he's at fault for the goal. I think he should be being a bit more rugged. He was out of position. He was like a statue in the first half. Second half comes out completely different player. He's more aggressive. He's more I don't know what happened at half time. I don't know whether there was a punch up in the change room or something or what, but whatever happened, he come out and he looked like he was prepared to go through every single Spurs player going, literally through every one of them. You know what I mean? And it's just a completely different player. But
all we were missing was a leg snap.
Yeah,
that's all I wanted to see.
Yeah, but we don't want to see anything like that. But strong 6 for me. WestHamOnline.
Poor first half, kept leaving his position, kept rushing out to tackle. But second half, he was very good. Won his tackles for the most part, timed his defensive actions well. So he's going to get a high 6 from me.
High 6. Clive?
He gets a mediocre 6 from me, because that first half was absolute disgrace. But he did make up for it in the second half, as I say. But for me, it was a game of two halves for him, and a mediocre 6, I think, is about right if you average the two.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Let's move on to this man, Thomas Souček. Clive, what do you make of him today?
Well, Souček, I was saying this in the first half of the game. Like, I felt sorry for the midfield three, and that's not just him. I'm talking about Ward-Prowse and, even Alvarez to an extent, because they weren't really getting the ball. Now, Souček, a lot of the time he gets criticised for his passing, but his passing accuracy didn't seem that far off tonight.
Pass the
I
ball
think
forward good as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing. Like, he did the right things today, and he made a few clearances. He did the headering that he needed to do tonight, and what was really required of him, really. So, I feel like he had an all right game, but he's not a centre attacking mid that you're going to get taking shots, I guess. And that was perhaps what was missing tonight. But we just don't have that sort of player. We do, but we're having to play slightly different positioning for players at the moment, which is no fault on his own, and we know what to expect from him. He's going to be the guy that scores in the box, and that's fine. But I guess that's what we're missing. I think for me, it's just an average 6 from Souček. I don't think he did anything wrong tonight, but he didn't do anything special at the same time.
I'll go next. Strong 6 for me. I thought he was all right. I thought he got, yet again, first half, not there. Just not there. Second half, completely different player. Gets about the pitch well. Strong 6. Lucas.
I thought he was a little better than Alvarez today, and I think that's really only because he didn't have a lot to do today. But same as Alvarez, I thought Souček defended brilliantly in moments, and I thought overall he was just very good defensively in transition and in our box. So And again, he wasn't going to get a lot of touches in this kind of match. Like, when we're absorbing pressure and we're looking to counter, really, it's not his gravy. So, I'm gonna give him and again, he passed the ball forward well today when he got it in a close area. So, I'm gonna give him a strong 6.
Strong 6 for you. WestHamOnline.
Brilliant performance. I thought his defensive contribution was fantastic. Good performance from Souček. Fantastic. He's underrated defensively because every time Spurs went for the cutback, whenever the ball went to Porro, he's there. Souček's positional play in that regard is fantastic.
We're going to talk about another one that's underrated in a little bit as well.
Yeah. So brilliant performance. And can I just quickly say, anyone who's hating on Moyes tonight, shove it
and hang this comment in the rafters. Hang it in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to let everyone read it, but I'll read it out. And just now, people say we're playing good football, but we're not showing any conviction in the way we're playing. People say we're playing nice stuff, but that's not what I'm about. I want to win. He wants results.
He's not getting them at the minute. I know that, but
he plays absolutely beautiful football, is what I'm hearing.
Well, it's like having a Ferrari with a Robin Reliant engine in it, but we move on. Let's come up to this man. Lucas, I don't like tracking back Paqueta. Who wants to start on this one?
I'll start on this one.
Go on, Clive.
It's not only I don't like to track back, I'll fake an injury in the first half, so it looks like I didn't want to really track back because I was injured. Fucking hell. Honestly. This guy, first half, headers the ball on a great pass from Kudus that he could have easily chested because of the lightness of that pass and gone for the volley or half volley, and he decided to do the most poxiest of headers.
Brazilians don't head the ball.
No, well, yeah, they don't. And unless your name's like Cafu or something, and we're going 20 odd years back here. But no, Jesus Christ, honestly, I don't know what to think of him tonight. He just, first half, absolutely shocking, but second half, he looked great. He was winning the ball, winning duels against players in the second half. He was fighting for the second ball, which he didn't do in the first half at all. In fact, he didn't even know how to track back.
Maybe Moyes fought him at halftime.
Yeah, maybe it was a hairdryer treatment.
True, but true from Lawrence there.
I think it's a tough one because second half he really showed the capabilities of coping with the strength of the Premier League and the sort of players that are in it. So I guess for me it'd be a low 6, but that first half, Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
I'm a man of averages, so this rating for me is extremely tough.
I'm gonna be honest. I'll go next. I thought first half was embarrassing. It was fucking shambolic.
I'm talking like a 1 out of 10.
Yeah,
that was bad.
It was one of the worst performances I've seen from a West Ham player in the first half performance for a long time. Yeah, and when you're watching it, like me and Clive was watching it, and it's in front of us, I can remember exactly what I was saying.
Feels crap, doesn't it?
It wasn't good. That first half performance was disgusting.
Actually, can I change my rating to a 5?
No, you can't.
To a 5. The reason I say that is because the first half, I'm just imagining it again, and even though the second half the second half in my head was like a 7 or an 8, but that first half's like a 2 or 3. So
right. Listen, let me rate him. Yeah, I'm gonna give him just a 5 out of 10. That's being kind because we won the game. He would have got about a 2 in 90 minutes. I thought he was absolutely shit in the first half.
That first half, I thought, like I said last week, was probably his worst performance in a West Ham kit. I think his first half today was tenfold what I saw last match.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I agree with that, Rich. Yeah. I thought first half, he was strolling. Someone said it on the watch along. He was just strolling around. Yeah. He wasn't even running back. He ran back once with sort of aggression. And he nearly fouled the geezer. Like he slid in out of control. If they would have played the game, they would have got a penny out of it. Yeah. Fucking embarrassing. I will say that. But second half, he comes out, he's a completely different player. And I don't know whether Moyes had a fight with him at half time or what. Just a completely different attitude. He wanted the ball, a lot of one-touch stuff, which was a lot better in the second half. So I'll give him just a 5 for me. I can't let go of the first half performance. It was shit. And he had a golden chance. West Ham Online.
Please. I can't. Anyone who said he's better than Payet, please.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Take it back and never bring it back out to play. Disgusting.
He's not world class, is he, Alf? Tell the truth.
God, no. He was rubbish, I thought, in the first half. Absolutely rubbish.
That's kind.
Header that he missed was embarrassing. Should have scored. Apart from that, I thought he looked lazy. He was losing the ball every time he got it. Kept laying on the floor.
Had no enthusiasm about him at all.
No, I had nothing about him. Every time the ball went to him, he kept playing the wrong pass. First half, he gets a 0. Second half, he gets a 6.5 because he improved a bit and he was decent in the second half. So I'm going to give him I'm going to be a bit fair. Average-wise, it doesn't work out, but I'll give him a 4.
Lucas.
Yeah, like I said, first half, that was disgusting and disgraceful enough that he should have honestly just taken off his kit at halftime and gone back to his gaff. Seriously, that was, and I love this guy with all my heart, but that was not West Ham at all. That was a sackable offense. First half, in my opinion, and then second half, I really don't think he improved, obviously, but I didn't think he was like fantastic. Again, I always compliment him on his work rate and him getting stuck in. And I thought he just, like everyone else, flipped the switch. He got incredibly stuck in. He started playing a bit faster, one touch. His mind was starting to run more fluidly, thankfully. And and he had a great head on of the ball to Bowen towards the end, which I think he's so good at that for some reason. Why is he so good in the air? He needs to teach a Garrett something. But I'm gonna give him a 5.
5 out of 10. We'll come to this quickly. Lawrence, thank you very much, mate. $9.99 from Lawrence, all the way out in the US of A. Right.
Go O's.
Let's come to this man, James Ward-Prowse. And who am I going to begin with here? AKA Lucas. Take it away.
James Ward-Prowse scores the winner. again, I have so much praise for this guy. I keep him to a high standard because I think he's such a good player. And I even tweet this out. And obviously, it does annoy me when people have certain opinions and takes on him. And it is what it is. It's an opinion. But I think his defensive work gets so swept under the rug and just gets pushed to the side. I just think he's such a good midfielder. And because he has the free kick merchant, the penalty merchant, the corner merchant like tag on him.
Yeah.
Like it's really weird like pressure. And if he doesn't play that well, people just like look at that and they don't think of all the other stuff he does. Again, my opinion. But he scores the winner. He loves an assist. He assists it to himself. To be fair, that was a bit of a tough one because Bowen was right in the way. So he did have to shoot it around him. But I thought defensively today, absolutely brilliant in transition in the box, had some very important block shots, and I just love the guy. I'm going to give him I'm also going to give him a 7. I'm not going to go strong 7, but he's going to be my man of the match personally. It was a tough one between him and Emerson.
Fair enough. Alf, can you put your phone down? I know it's going off berserk, mate. I can hear it. I'll go next. James Ward-Prowse. First half, I thought he had a go, but he was all over the place.
He was static. He was static. He like one thing I will give you, Mitch, and whoever else says it credit. He does lack like not getting stuck in, but like taking over, like getting involved, like being the main man. And again, I do agree with that to a point, but I feel like that's one of those things that like he's just in a new side. He's still like is not trying to get a hang of things. But I actually agree in Southampton, like he knew he was him. He was going to get the ball. He was going to make something happen. But again, and I always say this: there's so much ball to go around at this club.
I agree with that comment. That comment from Charlie. When he was pushed further forward, he always looks like he can score a goal.
Did you see for the first couple of minutes in the second half, the one-touch plays he made? And I mean, he looked like he could literally play. I
was actually really upset he didn't hit that ball that he laid off to Paqueta. I wanted him to just
Agreed. I said that at the time. I was like, fucking go for it, man.
I'm going to give him a strong 7 tonight. Great goal. The goal deserves credit. And like Lucas said, he had to go around Bowen. That was it. Right. He still got to do it.
And he was there as well. Like, he grasped. His work rate is second to none, and it showed in his good like 5-match spell when he was scoring and assisting, like that goal, like the goal against City at home. Like that was, I'm not going to say it was the same thing today, but without his work rate, he's not there to score that, and we don't score it.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Strong 7 for me. Clive, what you saying?
Yeah, it gets a strong 7 as well from me. My man of the match as well. I think he had a very good game for someone who, you know, people always want to say players being out of position and whatnot, but he looked so much more comfortable going forward. He looked, he looked good tonight. And I don't think he had a bad first half. He looked a little bit out of place to a sort, but like I said, I felt sorry for him in terms of the positioning of being mid, that, you know, the ball really wasn't really coming to those midfielders in that first half. So, I think he had a good game. He gets a strong 7.
I still think that him being further forward is our bet. Like obviously, our best solution. Agreed. But I think he is starting to progress a little bit in this. Again, this dumb double pivot that I don't like, but he looked more comfortable in it today, even though I don't want to see it. So fair play to him.
Alf, what you saying for Ward-Prowse?
I thought he was brilliant when we moved further forward. So there was times he got the ball on the edge of the box where I think he made the wrong decision, but he's always in the right area, and it just seemed that we were able to move the ball back to front better.
Do you find though, Alf, do you find that he was trying to overplay it today?
I think he needs to trust his ability more. There was times in the first half where I thought he could have collected the ball,
bang on,
wide, and I just don't. I think that's his main issue. He just doesn't take the sort of what Lucas said. To be honest, he should just take the game in the way that he wants to play it. And sometimes I feel like he's just another part of the game. But in the second half, I thought that he was instrumental. I thought the game went through him. He created some good chances as well. That one to Paqueta, which sadly went straight to keeper. But he popped up in that position just off the striker to score the goal. Terrible by Udoggy, who passed the ball back to Vicario, but a lovely little assist with the
Poor
post
from
as well.
Vicario as well. I don't know why he punched it.
Oh, yeah, and I'm going to quickly rate the post. Wonderful little placement to lay it back to Ward-Prowse, so the post gets an 8. Ward-Prowse gets a high 7.
Fair enough, mate. We'll move on to this man, Mo Kudus. I'm going to be honest. I'll go first in this one. I thought first half, I thought he was the only one who cared. I really did. Like, he got the ball. He was trying his fucking hardest. Second half, they kept him quiet. Spurs. They did. Like, they done a number in the second half. But even in the second half, he was still trying. He was still getting the ball. This kid is a talent, absolute talent. And when you're sitting there going through it and watching him, it's unreal. Some of the stuff he does do. He picks the ball up. He can control the ball. He's done a few misplaced passes today, but I agree with Charlie 100% on that comment. Kudus, high 7, man of the match for me. He's my man of the match. I thought he was excellent today. He was the one that was pushing us through. Do you know what I mean? When the other ones was shit. And in the second half, the difference is in the second half, they all come to the party in the second half. In the first half, it was just him and Emerson. So for me, I'm going to give him a high 7, man of the match for me. Geezer's a fucking trier. Love him. Lucas.
I will sing it and say it till the cows come home, but Mohamed Kudus, his defensive abilities are so impressive. Never in a million years would I think that an Ajax forward who comes to the Prem would have so much defensive ability as a winger. Like, I never would have thought that a day in my life, but I don't know what it is about his defensive work rate. That's like what excites me the most. That's what really like gets me up. Really, I just want to pump my fist in the air. And then again, like you said, he has the ultimate work rate. He is seriously like a Ghanaian Bowen, in my opinion, but he is a bit more flary. He has a bit more in his locker, in my opinion, than Bowen. But his work rate is unbelievable. He's great defensively, and the way he drives forward just gets you off your seat, even if it doesn't formulate to like anything great. You know what I mean? And he again, the key word, he's a trier. His work rate's fantastic. And I really thought he was one of our more consistent players today. First half, I thought he was okay. Second half, I thought he was okay. And Spurs, like you said, I think they made it a point to stop him because he is a dangerous player.
Agree with that comment.
So I'm gonna give him a 7.
7. Clive.
Yeah, strong 7 from me. He was down the left, he was down the right, he was down the middle, he was everywhere, confusing the defenders, making their life tough. Gave it a go both halves. Misses out on man of the match for me, but he might have been nullified in the second half, but he still played a part in the Bowen goal. Obviously, I know Bowen did the majority of that work, but Kudus was the one who did the shot that bounced off the 2 Spurs defenders. So, you know, ultimately, Kudus has played a strong part today. He looked very promising, and you know, we've now got to win another trophy, because the fact that we've won a trophy without Mohamed Kudus and we now have him in the team, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it don't feel right.
It don't feel right, old mate. WestHamOnline.
We've got Super Cootie.
Yuck.
That's disgusting. But listen, that is so bad today, yeah. That was just so bad, but I don't care because we just beat Spurs, mate. So carry on, for fuck's sake.
I thought he was our best player in the first half. Fantastic. Well, not everything was coming off for him, but he didn't have a lot of options, and I thought he was relentless. Second half, he was decent. He was decent, but I felt like some of his decision making was quite poor. I thought he was under hitting some passes as well. He's going to get a high 6 for me. But I thought it was a good performance from Mo Kudus.
Fair enough, mate. We'll move on to this man. Jared Bowen, record breaker, man who scores away from home, man who's just fucking brilliant at his club. This is the man that's going to transform West Ham. Whatever happens with Moyes at the end of the season, this man is the future, and he's just brilliant. I'm going to start off with WestHamOnline because he's backed him all the way to the bank. Go ahead.
He's breaking records. He scored in every away game in the Premier League this season. He's got the second most goals in the Premier League from open play. 3 behind Erling Haaland, I believe, who's obviously always going to get the most goals. But he's got more open play goals than Mo Salah now. Sensational from Jared Bowen. His away record is ridiculous. I didn't think he was fantastic by any means tonight, but his relentless attitude is the reason that
he's always up for a goal, though, isn't he, Alf?
Yeah, his
that's the thing.
positioning again, bit lucky with deflection of the course, but it's not coincidence when you're always in the box in the right position.
That was impressive. And you know what? Before you
the rub of the
on,
green, rub of the green.
His goal, while that happened, his ability to stay on side in his awareness, his football IQ is fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Which sign off? Number?
High 6, sorry.
High 6. I'm giving this geezer, I'll go next. I'm giving him a 7. I thought first half, he was driving me mad. Clive knows this because I was going mad. Second half, he decided to run with the ball, pass the ball better, and do a lot of good stuff. When Bowen is on it, we have got a very, very, very good player. Extremely, extremely good player. I think the goal he scores is a stroke of luck, but he's got to be there. Do you know what I mean? People might say about, people are going to say it's a lucky goal, but if you're not in that position, it don't become a lucky goal if you're not in that position. I'm going to give him a strong 7. I think another one who seemed to come into his own in the second half. Clever, passing the ball around, a lot better in the second half. Yeah, strong 7 for me. Clive.
Yeah, strong 7 as well from me. And I mean, we haven't forgotten, I hope, but he was pivotal in both the goals. The second goal, it was thanks to his hard press, made the goalie make a mistake, which led to JWP getting
great finish as well. It wasn't like some proxy finish. He put it on his top bins.
Oh, and the goal that he got was also great finish there from him. And yeah, I think he had a good game. First half, he was all over the place, not really doing much, but the second half performance really counteracts that. And yeah, he gets a strong 7.
What you saying, Alf? He's going to say something.
Spurs have gone 1-0 up in their last 5 games and 1-0.
Fair enough. Ain't about how you start. It's how you finish. Just ask Clive. Anyway. Lucas.
Oh, I'm all too familiar with that. PTSD. I'll be honest. I didn't think Jared Bowen was too great tonight, but in typical West Ham fashion, in a London derby like this, the only thing that matters is he scored when we needed it, and he turned the tide. But again, I'm not a fan of him being up front, and it's really no coincidence when he starts to go to his favored right-hand side and he's cutting in, making runs. That's when he's at his best. But then again, he defended good in moments, but realistically, he really only had about like 20 good minutes tonight. But again, I'm not going to discredit that for what he's done today, especially in a London derby. So I'm going to give him, because he scored and he turned the tide, I'll give him just a 7. But need more from him. But at the same time, he's not in his position. He's doing what he can.
Also, I've just seen someone say Mabama should start on the weekend. Please stick to cricket.
Fair enough. Clive.
Clive has already been.
Right, we're all done then. We shall move on to the sub. Give us a number, gentlemen. Pablo 4 now.
10.
Alf.
I love you.
Alf.
Strong 5.
Yeah, strong 5. Right, Pablo. Let's come to the ref. What'd you make the ref tonight, Lucas?
You know what? I'll be honest. I actually, and everyone, hold your breath. Be ready for a gasp. I think this was one of the best refereeing performances I've seen all season in terms of West Ham matches. I thought he was actually pretty good.
Consistent,
yeah. And he got all the VAR decisions right, every single one. Or not VAR decisions, but his first instinct was correct.
Yeah.
The fouls, I thought there's maybe one foul I thought was pretty soft, but seriously, I thought this guy, Michael Salisbury, I thought he was the absolute gravy tonight, to be honest with you. This is going to be the highest rating I might ever give a ref in ratings history. I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was brilliant.
Check him.
Yeah.
This ain't the real Lucas.
I'm not high or anything right now.
No.
This is sober thoughts.
Right, I'll go next. I'll give him a 7. Clive, what are you giving him?
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 as well. I think Michael Salisbury had a great game. He didn't let the game boil over, especially when it's a derby, stuff like that. He was
he had brilliant control of the match. I have to say that.
He didn't let any team slow the game down or anything like that. He had a very, very, very strong performance tonight, and I think he just played it very well. I think he was very firm and very fair at the same time. You know, if we got a yellow, they got a yellow.
Yeah.
If the tackles were similar, it just sort of worked out well, and I think it was very fair.
My 8 out of 10 feels that literally translates to like a 20 out of 10. I really thought he was unreal tonight, and I feel disgusting saying that.
WestHamOnline, give me a number.
10.
10 for you. Fair enough. Now we're going to come to this man, David Moyes. Wow. Tower 2 halves. I don't know who to go with first. I'll go with Lucas first because he'd be more controlled in his opinion. Then I'll let Alfie unload. Go on, Lucas. What you saying?
So yeah, you know how I break this down every time. Starting 11, strong as you can get. So good remarks for that. And like I said to you before, kind of in our afterthought, the tactics were not brilliant by any means, but the same philosophy that Moyes always carries, counterattack, low block, hit them on the break, it was still there. And in my opinion, the players just were so bad first half. I'm not excusing Moyes because he's part of that, but the players, they were not switched on. They had nothing about them. I think they embarrassed their families and a whole fan base tonight, personally. Or not tonight, but first half. And then second half, he threw a jab at Ange, maybe some of our players in the dressing room.
Yeah.
But what he gets criticized for the most, he shut some people up today, and we turned it on. We played brilliant second half. So and I don't know if it was brilliant that he didn't make any subs, but at the same time, the flow of the game was pretty good. There was actually not one thought today where I was like, please make a sub. Like, when are you going to make a sub? Because I thought the flow of the second half was pretty good. I didn't want anything to change really. So
yeah,
I'm going to give Moyes. Go ahead. What were you going to
say? I understand what you're saying there, but at half time, I even said to Clive, I said, "Fucking hell, something's got to give in the second half. Like, it has to." Like, because some of them players, you could have subbed off about 6 players in that first half.
No, and that's why I'm saying, like, I can't put all the blame on Moyes, but he is part of that. But like I said, I really thought first half the players were just so bad, and like they really were not thinking about what shirt they were wearing in the first half. When you put on that West Ham United shirt, you know the score, you know what you have to do. So overall,
what are you saying?
We did beat. You know what? It's just Spurs. You know.
Yeah.
We'll be running around Tottenham with our European Cup. Everything's fine and dandy. We got a result. I'm gonna give him a 7.
Yeah. I'll go next.
7.
Yeah. I'm giving. Listen. Let me go next, Alvin. Then I'll let you land. Right. First half, shit. First of all, I thought some of these players weren't fit to wear the claret and blue today, especially in the first half. I don't blame Moyes for that. I blame the players for that. Yeah, because the way they were just fucking shite. All of them. Yeah, of 9 of them at least. Whatever happened at half time, I'd love to be a fly on the wall. I would love to know what happened in that change room, because they come out second half and it was a completely different fucking West Ham side. They was more aggressive. They was more one touch. They was more confident. They was more believing that we are a good side. Let's fucking see how we go. Yeah. We come out second half. There's only one chance I can remember Spurs having where I thought, fuck me, that was a golden chance, and that was the Richarlison header. Other than that, I don't really remember them having to make any other saves from what I remember. Nevertheless, we have beat Spurs, so I'm going to give him. I agree with Lucas. I'm going to give him a 7. I thought the first half performance was absolutely diabolical, but it's how you perceive that. Do you look at that? That's on Moyes, or do you look at that? That's on the players. For me,
it's on the players.
I think the players let him down in the first half. I think a certain man let him massively down, and it was like they did not give a shit. And whatever happened at half time, I'd love to know, because like whoever sort of got into these players, they come out and they completely different West Ham side. And one thing I said to Clive, and I will shut up and move it over to WestHamOnline. I said to Clive, I want to see it. I want to be proud of this team in the second half. Give me something to be proud of. Yeah, please give me something, right? And they fucking did in the second half. They give us everything. So I'm very, very proud of this team tonight. Second half performance was excellent. First half was diabolical. 7. WestHamOnline.
I love it. I will
that is David Moyes clapping the cheeks of West Ham Online.
That is him clapping Edge from the back.
Right, first of all,
show him who's the man. Ange ball.
That's what you want, really.
David Moyes 4, Ange Postecoglou 0. I'll explain it. Beat him 6-2 in pre-season in 2021.
Yeah.
2023, there was a photo of them two holding wine together. Moyes held the wine correctly to stop it getting warm, and didn't.
Those Australians are absolute
pre-season match.
Fraud Australian.
He had Freddie Potts and Flynn Downs in midfield and still beat Ange. And he beat him again tonight away. So 4-0 to Moyes against Uncle Ange. Uncle Ange in the mud again.
Go on, carry on.
First half wasn't on Moyes. It was on the players. Kept passing the wrong balls in transition.
They hoofed everything as well. We were hoofing everything.
Yeah. So, okay, we could have been a bit more... No, forget it. I'm not going to give him any criticism. We could have played Ward-Prowse further forward in the first half, yes. That's the one thing I'll say. But our actual passing in transition was shocking. Second half, we limited them to nothing. Apart from the Richarlison header, they didn't have any chances, really. I don't remember Fab Evans making an incredible save or anything. We won the XG battle. We got in good positions on multiple occasions, scored 2 goals, won away at Spurs. He was celebrating with the away fans, despite being disgustingly booed against Crystal Palace at home. And he has now got the most points in West Ham history after 15 Premier League games, 24.
And if I could change my rating because of that, I would, but I'm a man of my word.
Right, what are you rating him, Alfred?
10.
Right, I've got to come to Mark R. Yeah, because me and Clive might be on watch-along and Lucas might be like chilling. James, you were good luck today. I've never seen you do a watch-along. Come on, your arms. I think it's keep it up. Oh, mate, it was stressful though today. I'm not going to lie. Clive, what are you saying?
Yeah, so I think I've probably caught some heat on what I've written on Twitter, which is now known as X. But you know, I did say this during the watch along. I stand by the exact words I said, which was it's down to the players. I saw a few people criticizing Moyes in the first half, but these are the tactics we play every week. We know how we play. We look for the counter. We couldn't even string a single pass together.
Great.
That's not on David Moyes. David Moyes doesn't have to teach them how to pass. They're Premier League football players, professional football players. If you can't string a pass, you shouldn't be playing. Full stop. And he can't sub all 11 players off. That's not down to him. The tactics were spot on because clearly it fucking worked. We won.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever he said at halftime, I'd love to have been a fly on the wall. For those that think that, you know, the players don't believe in the system, the tactics, the manager, everything has been proven otherwise based off of the halftime change in the players' reactions, because whatever was said by the whole backroom staff, not just Moyes, but his whole team, clearly must have struck enough chords, because in the first half, we did not play like that was our biggest derby in the Premier League, which it is. That is our biggest game in the Premier League, because that is our biggest rivalry. And you know, in the second half, we came out and treated the game for exactly what it is. And you know, fair play to Moyes for not changing things at half time and still having the belief in his players that they could change things around. I did think that was a bit of a risk, but it was a risk that paid off within 7 minutes. So yeah, you know, I think he's, you know, the tactics were spot on. It worked. Everything worked, but the players severely let down. Not just him, but the badge in that first half.
The intro music hits different. I know, Harry.
That is true. And I think for me tonight, Moyes definitely gets an 8. I mean, what's not to like about this season? Yes, we've lost. We always tend to lose points against teams we should get 3 points against. And I'm looking at Everton and the Palace game and whatnot. But you know, ultimately, we've also beaten teams that we haven't typically beaten. This season, we're in the quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup. So we're getting a domestic cup run. We're top of the Europa League, most points after 15 games, 3 points away from fifth place in the Premier League. 3 points from fifth place. Let's just have a reminder. In fifth place right now is Tottenham Hotspurs, who after 10 games were top of the Premier League. We are 3 points behind the team that were 5 games ago were top of the Premier League. And to be honest, Spurs were a dangerous opposition because the last 3 games or 4 games, whatever it is, they've had 3 losses, 1 draw. They were a dangerous team to face because they had the point to prove tonight, and they failed again tonight. So ultimately,
one thing I'm going to say on that, what you rating? Because I want to say something on that.
I think for me it's an 8 because ultimately I think everything worked tonight, and it was the players that failed him in that first half. That's not on him to string them a pass. They should know how to fucking pass. One
thing I am going to say tonight before we sort of come towards the end, is I said it earlier on, but I'm going to say it fucking again. Is how proud I am that West Ham go 1-0 down and spin it around up there. Like, because let's be honest, I'll be straight. First half, I thought we was going to get obliterated. Yeah, because the way we was playing dreadful. But to come out in the second half and put in a performance like that, and let's be honest, we got a bit lucky with the first goal. Yeah, we did. Like, a few ricochets.
You need the rub of the green. Like I said during the watch along.
First goal was lucky as well.
I said it. I said it during the watch along. Ultimately, not only do you need a bit of luck and a bit of the rub of the green, but like at the same time, Spurs were going to rue their missed chances because they'd only scored 1 goal. How many times do we rue our chances that we miss?
But Joe, what I'm saying here, is that West Ham didn't fold under pressure.
No, exactly.
And what I liked in the second half is they cared. Right, as I say, first half they didn't give a shit. Some of these players did not give a fuck. And they were strolling around and they was just passive and shit. Second half, it was like they all come together and said, right, this is what it means to the West Ham fans. And they delivered. And listen, I can't thank them enough, mate. Like, we have got bragging rights over Spurs, and it's so fucking beautiful to have. I will say that. Gentlemen, anything else you want to add on tonight?
Moyes in.
You would say that, Alfred.
I think from my end, it's just a case of, I think after having that performance, we've still got one more London derby to go. Obviously, Fulham are in a good nick after winning 5-0 against Nottingham Forest. They needed their sort of mentality to be positive because they've not had a great season. But I think after us winning against Spurs, I think that puts us in a great spot to quiet Fulham.
That's going to be a great match on Sunday, in my opinion, and I'm going to miss it because of work. So that will have to be.
Moyes is going to beat Fulham, I promise you.
The next, I'm going to say this before I wrap this up. Yeah. First off, shout out to all the away fans who went there today. I see one of my friends, my school friends, with his son there on the stream when I was watching it. And listen, they was up for it today. The away from it. That looked like a right buzz in that away end, and it was so happy to see. One thing that I will say about the away fans, they did not sort of turn on the players. They stood firm with them, and the second half it fucking proved it how we all come together. And as I said the other day, I'm going to say this now just to round this up. When West Ham are united, we are a fucking strong unit. Strong, but we can have it with anyone. Yeah, when we're divided. It's painful to see, and as I said the other day, it is so fucking painful to see when you're seeing everyone at each other's throats. But with all being said, West Ham today have beaten Spurs. Yeah, this is like Postecoglou ball, and they're amazing and everything. We've got to take some credit for our own performance in that second half. First half, I agree with anyone, it was shit. Second half, it was fucking unbelievably good. First half was diabolical, though. I will say that. So I want to get to this question from Richard.
You can take your style of play. I'll take the 3 points, Anne.
But do you know what? Forget what Richard has said. At the end of the day, if we finish top half of the table, get 2 cup runs in, to be honest, I think it's very difficult to say that Moyes doesn't deserve a new contract.
Let's not say that. Do you know what I mean? Right now, but quick question, James.
Please.
If we win the Europa League and qualify for the Champions League next season, does Moyes definitely stay? Do you know what?
To me, if we win the EFL Cup, I'll be happy. If we win the Carabao Cup,
I can't believe these are actual questions now.
I'm going to say this, yeah. Now, if Steve Cooper leaves Nottingham Forest, Graham Potter will be going to Forest. Just mark my words on that. Yeah, I think they've already lined up him at Forest. Now, if he does go to Forest and Potters goes there, I don't really see it, what other manager can come in who isn't going to cost money. Like, if West Ham want to go out and get a high-end manager, they're going to have to pay the Wonga, mate, I'm afraid. They can't get a cheap manager. Right? You ain't going to get a cheap manager who's that class. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's a story for another day.
Can I just say quickly, James?
Go ahead.
I can't believe... I appreciate the question from the guy, but I can't believe that people actually deliberate over answering questions like this, because I see it on Twitter all the time. Essentially, what's being asked is, if we win another trophy and get Champions League, we shouldn't have to win.
We shouldn't have to win another trophy.
What?
Because we shouldn't have to win another trophy, because ultimately the position we're currently in, I think we're in an incredible position. I mean, look, everyone's going to say, well, West Ham have spent money. Yes, but we also lost arguably our best player in 20, 30, 40 years.
We lost a world-class player.
Yeah, and not only that, I think Moyes has done incredibly well consistently, with the exception of last season league-wise. But other than that, we're getting cup runs. Who manager-wise is going to do a better job? I think people are being very short-sighted, and I think ideal situation in my eyes is I would like for us to have either sorted out Moyes' situation, to be honest, before January. And I'm not saying it because we might sign players in the January window, because we never tend to. And if we do, it ends up being Danny Ings. But for me, it's more of, I would like to know what the future of the club looks like. And I think it's difficult, both for the players, but also for the staff, to know what's going on when you think, we might be gone at the end of the season. We need stability in the club. And at the moment, Moyes has been succeeding. There's no reason to get rid of him.
I'm going to come to this. Keith Knight, thank you very much, mate. Me and all the boys.
Absolute legend.
Me and all the boys do appreciate it. And we really, really do on here, yeah? Because obviously it's our grind in this game. I will say that. How many times have we seen West Ham do this? When we think a beating is coming, we do this. Second half was immense. Credit to them all, including Moyes. Come on, you fucking irons. This is why we love West Ham. I couldn't agree more with you, mate. Couldn't agree more.
Moyes is the best manager since Ron Greenwood.
Agreed.
Agreed. You can have that abuse, Alf, online.
But it's not wrong, because there's only 3 managers that have won us a major trophy. Greenwood, Lyle, and Moyes. That's the 3. Ultimately, he's not wrong, because at the end of the day, in 20, 30, 40 years' time, what are we going to base these managers off? And we're going to base it off of who's won what trophies, and we don't win I can't
remember the last time, to round this up, I can't remember the last time West Ham went to Spurs, conceded first, and won the game.
Also, I saw us
remember
earlier laughing at the fact that West Ham fans want Moyes out. He said, West Ham fans get a great moment every month, it seems, under Moyes. Won a trophy, and they still want him out because he draws to teams like Crystal Palace.
Right. We're going to wrap it up there, people. I want to thank Keith, and I want to thank Lawrence for the super chats. Really do appreciate it from both of you guys out there in USA and Harlow, I think Keith's from, yeah. My final thought is this, yeah. Fucking proud. That's the first thing. I said the other day, and I was emotional the last player ratings, because when West Ham are not together, yeah, and there's a divide there, it is pain. It's pain, yeah. When we are together, and I see that away following tonight, and I've never felt so proud in my life when they all together.
Fantastic as well.
Yeah, like them bouncing. That is West Ham through and through. Yeah, this is why I keep banging on about it, and people can either listen to me or think I'm talking out of bollocks. Yeah, but when West Ham are united, we can have anyone, and that is coming from me all day long. So yeah, listen, over the moon. I'm proud. We've got it over Spurs until March or whenever we play them again. Just enjoy this tonight, lads. Enjoy it. Whoever you are, just enjoy it, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I never thought I'd see West Ham go to Spurs, go 1-0 down tonight, and then spin it around and be pretty much a really, really good side in the second half. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's what Moyes does, James. I've come to
that, mate. True, it is, but, it's what it is. I'm just so proud. Anyway, from me to you, take care of yourselves wherever you are on this planet, and we will see you again in the next one. Abush.
What is it?